honestly, you know, when you do these, I've been stapling the corners, and you figure you have 3 on the one side, 3 on the other side on every corner. So,
Right.
you know, I can't see. When you put them together, they almost stand without having to put anything in them.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Nail-wise.
When I was up your house,
Yeah,
when we were
yeah,
doing
yeah.
it, we didn't record it.
Right.
That's why I figured, you know, this is my first time, and I don't
Yeah,
know if anybody
yeah.
else has seen how they're put together. This gives us an
Yeah.
opportunity to show people how it's done.
Yeah, no.
Badger turned around and mentioned to me about not having the solid bottoms on the hive. So I did take and order the screened bottoms for the hives.
Yeah.
Being as this was one of the Hoover hives, like one of the major production ones that has the 2 tall supers and the 4 short, I wanted to take and divide it out and make 2 separate hives out of it. So I got the extra components so we can actually do that. When we were up at Badger's putting his together, he was using a propane torch because the hives are very well coated in honey, or I should say wax. And one of the problems he was having was trying to actually push them together. So I came up, he was using a torch. I brought out a heat gun. That way we don't have any open flame. And I also, if we still have difficulty, I brought out 2 clamps with coils so that we can actually take and clamp them together if need be. Again, as recommended, I got the screened bottom with the spare.
Yep. Now, one thing they did on these hives that drives me nuts is the older hives, basically, this extended all the way, and the reducer was a little bit smaller.
Okay.
On these newer bottoms, they've gone through this notch system. Great, you know, because you can't accidentally push the reducer into the hive, but it means that you have 2 different styles of entrance reducers that you have to keep in inventory, because, you know, you go to put the one on, you go, oh no, this is for the other style. So
Right.
that's what it is. Also, all the queen cells we found seem to be in medium frames. So our nukes are probably going to be the medium or smaller supers.
Okay.
And then as they grow out, we'll throw the large ones on. So it's we're playing Russian roulette out there, because from what I remember, there's over 20 queen cells. We hope to go in Monday, and hopefully they don't complete one on, you know, Sunday. Once they cap, they're off. And,
Okay. Now here we have a top cover.
yeah, they're so beautiful when they're new, nice and shiny.
All right, we have something I haven't seen in the hive yet.
I'll explain what this is.
Okay.
It's something Hoover Hives does. If you're transporting the bees, there's 2 little clips that mount on the bottom super, and the theory is that when you're transporting the bees, you put this guy down and they have air circulation, but the bees can't get in and out. This is their version of a winter reducer. The bees can fit in, but mice can't. So it's kind of a neat idea, but I don't have enough of them for all the hives. And I also tried to reduce it a little bit further than that, just to slow down the airflow in the winter. So I have a couple of these laying around. I used them the first year, and after that I just used, you know, hardware cloth. But what kills me is these little teeny brads they give you for the side frames. They just don't hold the side frames together. In fact, I'm going to go get those longer staples.
Okay.
So, we'll use these guys. Look at this guy. Didn't you know you're not allowed in Ambler?
I'm going to say one of the interesting things that I'm going to be taking, and possibly in the future with Badger doing, our borough ordinances have clumped bees in with poisonous spiders, poisonous snakes, swine, and other nasty things like that. Yet this is the month of May, and they are having what they call No Mow May for pollinators to benefit. But they have an ordinance that prevents probably one of the more useful pollinators for men and women, people, excluded.
Yeah.
Because we're not allowed to have them. So I'm going to be taking and working with my local council people, which, after speaking to a few of my neighbors, seem to be a little bit more receptive to things that are environmentally friendly, and bees are environmentally friendly. So we're going to work on that one in the future.
We now have 2 honeybees here. What that tells me is within about 1.5 miles of here, there are beehives.
Which should probably be about 200 yards away. We have the township line, which goes from Ambler Borough to Upper Dublin Township. And Upper Dublin does not have an exclusion on hives, and there's a big block over there.
So the point being is, even by excluding them in Ambler, you don't prevent them from coming here or swarming here, because they'll generally swarm a couple of miles from where their hive is. So I'm not sure what purpose that has, other than the fact that it probably went through with a package, as usual, that included the poisonous snakes. Discover why.
That's all. They're all dovetailed. Actually,
they're beautiful.
These are very well made.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed by the quality of the workmanship that goes into these. And when Badger was assembling his, I was even more impressed with how tight the dovetails are.
Yeah.
Especially when you include the wax. If you take a look, it's not something you can fit together easily.
No.
You know, you can get it started. I can probably press it in, but you struggle with it. So
heat gun.
Instead of, well, he used the torch.
That one went in easy, actually, compared to the ones I got.
Yeah, the ones that he was doing, he was literally having to take and really heat it up.
Yeah, it depends how much of a drippage you have on the frames there. The funny thing is the dovetails are just so tight on these that the hives would stand even if you didn't put any nails in them.
So if you take a sip of this. Yeah, it's a bit warm out today, and I think that's actually helping with the assembly.
Softens up the wax.
Yes. That'll hold it together, and you can just take pop parts off of it. Yeah. All right, we a lot more to go. Okay.
I pulled about 10 frames this year and chucked them and replaced them. So I end up ordering, sets of frames. The unfortunate thing is the cost of just a set of frames is almost not too different than buying the whole super. Yeah.
That's aromatic cedar, which is actually not bad wood to build anything that's outdoors for a long period of time.
No.
I'm surprised they didn't take and dip the frames too.
Well, the bees do that.
Yeah.
they'll coat every. If you look at any of the frames that are in the hives back there, you'll see that they're all coated by the bees. If it's inside the hive, they'll normally take care of it. If you're getting non-dipped hives and you paint the outside, you don't paint the inside, the bees will take care of that.
Okay. One of our monasteries up in New York is selling honey, basically to raise money for the monastery.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, I don't think it's been properly stored because
Crystallized.
it's completely crystallized.
Yeah.
Which means I use it in my tea, but I'm actually spending more time dipping into it with a spoon and scooping it out and eating it like candy.
Natural honey will do that.
And I was wondering if I could get away with taking and making little chunks of it and dipping it in chocolate. Everybody likes chocolate. Everybody likes honey.
Yeah, we did. Might have a market for something there. Lisa, our dear bee, caught the first swarm, was so excited about that, she said, we should form a company, swarms are up. You saw her in her glory last night conducting a symphony at rehearsal.
I mean, she is absolutely glowing.
Yeah.
Two small hives that I can add on to later.
Yep. And then each year they will add on to themselves. Winters, we've had some pretty mild winters lately. I mean, it's not uncommon on harder winters to lose, 50% of the bees, 50% of the hives. Just don't make it through the winter. But we've had some good winters, and meaning mellow winters. The result is we now have lots of bees.
Yeah, I was seeing that when we were working with them, and that weak hive, after you did the
Switcheroo.
the complete switch, I was really impressed with, number 1, which became number 9, suddenly is like going gangbusters.
Now she's got the workforce and she's laying up a
Just shows you it wasn't the queen that was the problem, it was just insufficient support.
And a lot of beekeepers will, pinch the queen, try putting a new queen in there, but until she has the workforce, Mother Nature knows what they're doing there, and she's only going to produce enough eggs that she has bees in the hive to take care of the larvae when they hatch. Hello, bee. We're nailing hives together. We're almost done. Got maybe one more super full of frames to do. We got 2 nail guns going at the same time. It's just boiling right along. All right, you're gonna. Oh, there's a whole other clip. How's your? Well, all you need is about 6 more staples. I was gonna say, how's your staples clock?
Well, the window shows I got them.
You got them.
Okay. If you're still working, I don't know whether you are. Looks like you are. Yep. Well, we have the hives all pretty much stapled together now.
Well, we don't want to keep our dear bee waiting.
Nope.
So here you go. What is this?
That looks like it fits into a top cover.
And I haven't done it this way, but when you're collecting honey, you smoke all the bees out of the honey super.
Right.
And then you snap this in this little slot that's in the inner cover, provided they cut it the right size. It's also wax coated.
So
It's got 2 little veins in it, and the idea is the bees can go down, but they can't come back up. It's called a bee escape. So it moves the bees out of the hive body that you're about to extract honey from.
Okay. Well, I don't think I want to be doing any extracting until I come up to see you.
A bunch of them. I haven't used them though.
Now I do have a question.
What's that?
Since I don't have an extractor of my own, and I don't see that happening for a little while.
Yeah, no, I have an extractor. There's no point in having multiple extractors. It just I cut a few combs and put it on this hydrometer that tells me what the percentage is of water in it. As long as it's like 18% or less, you can go ahead and extract. If it's a little high, I throw a tarp over it and run a dehumidifier and let it sit for a couple of days. Because you want that water content to be low. Higher water content, it's not going to crystallize as fast, but it could go bad. If you get it below 17, it'll be here 4,000 years from now.
That's actually something that was used in a lot of preservatives for preserving long before refrigeration.
Yep. If you have a supersaturated compound like honey, nothing can grow in it. So, mold can't grow in it, bacteria can't grow in it. So, outside of crystallization, there's not really too much that can happen to it. And crystallization doesn't harm the honey. It's just a different form of it,
Tastes good. Right.
A lot of people like it. They call it honey butter. And it's just basically crystallized honey, and you can spread it on toast and things like that. I prefer liquid honey, especially if someone wants, some, and you go to the bottle and it's solidly crystallized. Now you gotta
Pry it out.
crystallize that bottle, warm it up before you do something with it.
Put you on pause for a while and grab the camera, and we're going to take and depart for a little bit.
So, long missing from Buzz Park is our own bee, one of the founding people here, and I've dragged her out so she can formally introduce Digger. We've had him in a couple episodes, as you know, but it was time to get her voice on.
Well, this is, the badger, And now we have Digger, because he digs, and we dig him. So that's why we call him that. But he is instrumental in our now trinity of beekeepers here in Buzz Park, although this is my house, not Buzz Park. But we hope that you're finding us being very buzzy and you enjoy what you're seeing. So anyway, see ya. See you and buzz around.
Bye-bye, and don't forget to like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Oh yeah.